All right, welcome to Deep Night Revelation. We're going to be picking up where we left off last week. We've got a couple of players that are one's late or going to be late, and the other is out. Brian will be out; he's going to be on vacation for a while, and we've got Jack is out until later. He said he was going to be a little bit late tonight, and so we will just go and get started without him. Where we left off, these guys have been escorted to the Eynastyoi system by the CSS Illustrious of the Commonwealth and Captain Lang. And they came here because there was talk of what they call, or what is commonly referred to as super Droyne. Um, and these guys, or this world, is their new home world, and so they refer to themselves as the Eynastyoi, which translated means children of Eynastyiosk, and so they are a little bit different. They are, compared to normal Droyne, they are big. They are not big. They are taller. They are more muscular, and most importantly, they are casteless. They do not have castes. They pretty much live their lives like anybody else would. They're not like typical Droyne. The downside is, and nobody's really looked into this too hard yet, is that the Eynastyoi have very, very short lives. Their childhood is generally about 8 years. So if you were to make an Eynastyoi traveler, you would start at 8 years old, and then their adult life, the prime years of their adult life, is about another 8 years. And at the end of that, at like 16 years old, they start to take aging effects, and their aging effects are pretty drastic. And it is unusual to find anybody in the Eynastyoi societies that is over the age of 40. They're all dead before then, and so because of this, their population's tech level has gone up and down and up and down and up and down, because the people that have actually garnered the knowledge are no longer, are very quickly gone before being able to pass it on. And so at this point, Eynastyoi has reached a tech level 10 society. Usually that was pretty much reached by begging, borrowing, and stealing technology from other races, and most of that came from a government called the Dual Alliance that operates in the area as well. So their ships very closely resemble those of the Dual Alliance. They're very ovoid and spherical in shape. And so these guys want to know where they came from, and so Dr. Bocephus has gone to find an ancient, not the ancients, but an old obelisk with Oinprince carvings on it, and he's going to see if it is related to what was his name? Anyways, the ancients that came through here 300,000 years ago looking for the Deepnight Entity. Those guys. Forget his name. And so that's what he's doing. Meanwhile, Sarda is back at their starport, and the crew of Deep Night Revelation has started to cycle, doing a short shore leave before they head on. They have been told that the Eynastyoi are aware of another Droyne world called Osktyask 2, and that it is somewhat of a research facility, kind of a garden or a walled off kind of world. There are primitive Droyne there that these guys would usually refer to as chirpers, and the Eynastyoi are kind of studying them. They don't want to interfere too much with them, and because they're trying to learn more about where these guys came from and why they have devolved into the chirper state. And so, but they did send a research ship about 6 years ago, and it has not come back. And so the Eynastyoi would be happy if they would go look into that for them. Maybe they can kill two birds with one stone. Before we get started, we would like to bring up that we do have a merch store via Zazzle. We've got t-shirts and hoodies and buttons and drinkware and all sorts of stuff on that site. And 100% of the proceeds go back into our channel, and it helps us kind of make ends meet at the beginning of every month when all those subscriptions come due. And so if you enjoy the show and you want to help us out, go get yourself a t-shirt, and we appreciate everything you do for us. All right, so both Cephas.
Yeah.
I forget. Was Pappy shuttling you?
Yeah, I think so.
I think so too. Yeah. So, I mean, there's no need for fancy flying. Pappy shuttles you over, and it takes a good couple of hours to get to this site. It seems like it's pretty remote, like up here in these mountains, further north, and from the air. So the Eynastyoi have kind of cleared the area out around it, and it's very easily discernible from the air. And this site seems a little bit more, I guess, thought out than the other sites you've seen previously. The sites that you've seen previously seems like they were hastily put up, and they leave their mark and then they get out of there. They weren't spent. This one, however, is much more elaborate. It's a taller obelisk, and it is set in the middle of concentric, almost maze-like rings that kind of go out, and these rings go out for a good half of a kilometer, out from the center point. And so Pappy finds a location and sets you down. And the Eynastyoi have kind of set up this site like it's almost a historical park kind of situation. And you and Pappy make your way half a click up to this central spire piece. What's your plan?
First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pop a psi drug.
Okay.
So my psi rating will go through the roof because I'm topped off right now. So I have an equivalent of a 16 psi right now. So
does it go up that high? Let's see.
It gives me +4, and I have a 12. 12 plus 4 is 16.
Yes, it is. Or Templar. Yeah. So yeah, you've got 16, which looks like it will give you
+3.
It'll still give you a +3 on your psi score.
Yeah. All right. Cool. And then I want to go look at the site.
Okay. So you get up to this obelisk, and it is the other thing that's different about the obelisk and these concentric. So the concentric rings that come out, it doesn't look like there was ever. They don't look like there were ever a foundation for a wall. There may be, half a meter high, maybe. In fact, that's probably even a little bit too tall. But they're just like little curbs that are in a rounded square or rectangular curbs that are in a circular pattern that go out from the central point. And there's grass that grows between them, and they don't. It doesn't seem like there's any sign that there was ever walls or anything here. But in the center, where this obelisk is, it is black. Looks like it is a polished granite, and it's polished smooth. The other ones that you've seen, they were smooth, but they were not. they were not really thought out as far as shape. They found a rock and smoothed it out, and then carved their glyphs and left.
Right.
And so, oh well, here's an obelisk that's shaped like a potato, and it's got carvings in it. This one looks like an obelisk, like the Washington Monument. I mean, it's a tall, probably 3 meter tall plinth that comes to an angled point at the top, and it is carved very. What you've seen these carvings before.
Yeah.
Aside from the carvings, this looks nothing like the other plinths that you've seen.
Have any other guys tried to commune with this thing telepathically?
Yes. Yes. So, uh, they are fully aware of psionics. In fact, Super Droyne have about the same potential for psionics that regular Droyne do. And so there are psionics across the world. They recognize that they are a psionic species. They have a higher, because they have the same rate as standard Droyne, they have a higher potential usually than humans do. Now, having said that, that also means, so I don't necessarily know that they would probably have about the same potential as humans do. And the reason I say that is that standard Droyne, through the casting process, may become psionic. So, like a leader of leaders is usually going to be psionic in some way.
Right.
And they may not have been before the casting process, but that's that. They just come out that way as this is what you're going to do now for life, and through this process, they're psionic. So typically, they say that the Eynastyoi, Super Droyne have the same potential, but they don't go through casting. So I would say that they probably have about the same potential as humans. But they recognize it here, and so they have an institute program set up for those that do show psionic potential, and they test kids. They're very aware that they are a psionic people, and they don't try to suppress it in any way. They have interacted with it, and from this plinth, and just from the carvings, the Oinprint carvings on the plinth, they this is where a lot of their history comes from. So, because their short lifespans and because their tech level has gone up and down and up and down, their history, they've been here for hundreds of thousands of years. Their history only goes back about 400 or 500 years. And anything before that is all myth and legend. They don't know.
Okay. Well, then, I guess I want to start out by doing uh, a psionic awareness inspiration upon myself.
Okay.
Um,
That is. There it is. Okay. So, yes. That takes you all of 3 seconds, and you are inspired. You get a +2 to 1 check within the next minute.
right. And then so I will walk up, and then when I do my telepathy with the thing, I ought to get a +2.
Hold on,
And
just a
then
second.
really want to do well here.
So before you do that, there was a power. There was a power that involved touching an item, I thought. And maybe it's not this game. It might have been something else. But I thought it was like clairvoyance, but situation at some displaced point. No.
I mean, you can. I'm cool with making any fucking kind of clairvoyance check you want me to make. I mean, however you want to fucking
I
wire
just
this thing,
remember there
I'm ready.
being so like there is a ability that a lot of these woo woo psychics that you see on late night cable, they claim to be able to
Okay.
touch something and then they'll tell you about its history
Yeah, like
without
a scrying type thing.
yeah, like they touch an item and they know things about it that supposedly they had no possible way of knowing. And I could have swore that I saw it in here, but like I said, it might have been another game. Anyways, you can
Well,
let's just go ahead and keep it with.
There's the clairsentience. The traveler is capable of seeing and hearing a specific situation by using that power.
Yeah.
It doesn't require touch though. It's a very distant type.
Yeah.
Gig, but
yeah.
I mean,
yeah, it's got to reach.
I'm here to
distant.
touch it. Yeah, but I'm just saying that seems rather vague to fit your needs.
Right.
Maybe. Whatever.
Yeah. So yeah, no, go ahead and just yeah, go ahead and do that. Go ahead and make a clairsentience. So it would be an awareness plus psi check, and you get a +2, of course.
Oh, you're saying awareness then? Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry, not awareness. I'm sorry, clairvoyance. You're right.
Okay. So I get a +2 to whatever the hell this is.
Yeah.
So 16.
So you touch this thing, and while you're touching it, Pappy is kind of showing the camera on your your translator. He's scanning these carvings, and it's rattling off translation. You touching it, you get essentially a front row widescreen view of what it's describing, and both are fairly vague. So what this what your vision shows is you go back further back than 300,000 years, probably about 320,000 years. This is the sense that you get is there is no knowledge of the Deepnight Entity or any mission to find such an entity. There's no relationship at all with those Droyne. But the image that you are seeing is that these are normal Droyne that have come to this world, and basically they have set up a Droyne colony here, and it goes on very vaguely for roughly 10,000 years or so, or no, about 20,000 years. And as you are viewing this, over this 20,000 year period, these Droyne, who have had no contact with any other of their species, are evolving. They are changing.
Yeah.
And the dominant form that comes out are the super Droyne. They are bigger, they are stronger, and most importantly, they are casteless, but their lifespan is gradually diminishing over this 20,000 years. And then they are encountered by the passage of the exploration ship captained by Osktyask, who is searching for information on the Deepnight Entity. They are contacted. Osktyask and his crew pass down the knowledge to them of casting, but what you see is that casting um, teaching them to cast doesn't have the same effect as it does on normal Droyne. It as you were told, that it results in strange mutations. Often, super Droyne that choose to be casted die outright, or they become hideous monsters. And so the Eynastyoi decide that casting is not for them because the potential benefits of it are outweighed by the fact that they're turning their children into monsters or killing them outright. And so the Eynastyoi decide to not further this. But you do see that there is a sub movement that is created called the Droyne Iskati, and that translates to the seekers of the next stage. And you see that over centuries that this group kind of becomes like a science cult, and they are pretty much banned outright by the Eynastyoi, and they kind of go underground. But you get the sense of that there is a overriding question that the Eynastyoi have, in that, are they the ones that have evolved, or are they a mistake that they should have stayed with casting, and they should have because regular Droyne haven't changed for 300,000 years, and yet here the Eynastyoi are, who have evolved into this larger castless form. And so there's this question in their society, and that's pretty much where the thing ends. It doesn't say where Osktyask and his group went. They weren't here very long. They were basically here to teach them how to cast, and then split and went on their merry way.
Okay. We'll have a lot of information to pass on to this company that's here with me, and I'll explain how I did it using the clairvoyance techniques and all that. Maybe I should go talk to their psionic masters or something. I don't know. I really deep down want to be able to recreate the casting process for my personal product. Turpy might be interested in doing this, and I'd like to be able to tell them how to go about casting, and give them an accurate account of what I've just learned.
So the Eynastyoi are already well aware. So when they finally reached spaceflight capability about 200 years ago, that came about because a dual alliance ship crashed on the planet Eynastyoi, and they backward engineered it, and they helped the crew, the surviving crew, and so that really kind of went into that, sent their own personal uplift program, kind of sent it into overdrive, and they were able to reach the stars. They reached for the heavens, and they grabbed it. In doing that, they have discovered other worlds that were populated by Droyne. None of those other worlds are like them. They are all true form Droyne. They're not like this. They're not super Droyne in any way. And one of those worlds that they discovered was Osktyask 2. And the weird thing about that planet, that while the other Droyne worlds that they had visited, most of them had kind of stayed around, they didn't stay at tech level 15 or 16 like they might have been originally. Many of them devolved, but they usually kind of bottomed out around tech level 10 to 12. Osktyask 2, they devolved all the way to the chirper level, and nobody knows why. And so that's one of the reasons why the Eynastyoi have decided that Osktyask 2 is going to be kind of a wildlife preserve. They don't really want to mess with them. And there's even some conjecture among the scientific community that that perhaps the chirpers of Osktyask 2 are the enlightened ones. They are the ones who actually evolved. That perhaps devolving to a state where you don't worry about all this technological crap is the higher form. And most Eynastyoi think that's ridiculous, but there are a lot of questions. Now, the Eynastyoi know multiple ways of casting. They already are aware of it.
Okay.
They're happy to share their information with you. And I mean, you've got.
I want to share with them the cybernetic information that should allow them to do, utilize waferjack technology.
Sure.
I don't know how deep, under their tech level, I don't know how deep I can go with it, but at least fucking a neurojack, would be great. I like, and tell them, if you start utilizing these knowledge, these wafer jacks, you can preserve your knowledge on a lot of these technologies and skills, and you can maybe maintain your quality of life.
A neural jack is technically 13 plus, as is a neural link, because it kind of uses both. It matches the capabilities of a neural link plus a wafer jack. So, I mean, but a wafer jack, I mean, it depends. You could give them something as basic as tech level 12 wafer jack. But it's funny that you bring that up, and the reason why I say it's funny is because that's exactly the direction I was going to go with Sarda. And both of you will get pretty much the same response. So Sarda, the ship's crew is kind of doing their shore leave bit. Doing the shore leave was kind of, I believe it was Sarda's idea. He always comes up with these ideas. How long were you thinking that you wanted Revelation to stay? Like a couple hours, days, what? Oop, you're muted.
Like a few days. I just figure the engineers have been working nonstop putting things together, and so basically, I'd like them to be able to have some time off to screw around.
Okay. So yeah, you're here. I mean, the captain. Yeah, the captain is perfectly okay for 4 days. Shore leave. And the priority, of course, goes to the engineering teams. Since the engineering teams pretty much missed out on the shore leave over at Tradeport, and so not that he is of course letting other people off ship too, but priority goes to them. And go ahead and make a.
They didn't get to play in the casino as much,
right? Make a either go ahead and make a broker plus social check.
Okay.
So you are, I mean, your ships come down, the launches come down and offload people, and Abenis comes down, offloads a bunch of people. It is painfully obvious. I mean, just down to the mobile comms that everybody wears as a wristwatch, all the gadgets that you guys have. It is painfully obvious to anybody that looks that you guys are advanced compared to the Eynastyoi. And you are being approached multiple times by what you could call, I guess, officials, that they are interested in. They're not interested in you guys spending money. They'll gladly give you whatever it is that you require. They are friendly. They are. they are completely supportive of your adventurous spirit. If I remember correctly, you showed them the Fallout video of the of the Deepnight Entity. So they are completely supportive of you. They are willing to resupply whatever you need. They have more than enough here. But it is brought up multiple times that they would be very interested, not necessarily in trading, but they would. I mean, because they don't really have anything to trade, other than homemade items of Eynastyoi bead necklaces, not necessarily bead necklaces, but whatever they would have local that you're not going to find anywhere else. That's the only thing that they have to trade, because you guys are far more advanced than they are. They would greatly be interested in accepting any gift of technological knowledge or items, because this is a part of their societal uplift. And as they've said, they're fully aware that they have short lifespans, and that is limiting them. It's not that it's not that they're not capable. It's that they're not. It's not that they're not capable mentally. It's that the people that figure out the technology or design it don't live long enough to pass the information on, and so they are trying to do their own uplift program by using other people's tech and trying to build up their society.
All right. So I think I like pursuing this the way we did before, which is to check out their current tech, find mistakes or dangerous choices they've made, and suggest improvements. So whoever's not on vacation down on the planet, tech-wise, I'm going to have them just start analyzing the planet's power systems, basically communications relays, anything they can find that's inefficient with the way they're currently operating. The last time it was easy because we knew the ship had a real problems with its jump drive.
Right.
But this time we'll be actively looking for security problems with systems and things like that.
So while most of the society would be considered somewhere between tech level 9 and 10, pretty much they have anything that is around tech levels 8 through 10 that you would find in the central supply catalog. They have in some form. I mean, they've got I wouldn't say a worldwide. They have a mobile comm network set up. Everybody has cell phones. They've got computers. They're not. It's not that different than what we have here in our real world.
So
except they have spacecraft.
So like waste management, recycling, energy, how clean the energy is.
What I can tell you is that their standard power plants are fusion generators, but they're like tech level 8 fusion generators.
Okay.
That they use for everything. Let's see, what else? Is there anything else in here? Aside from that, I can show you their typical ship.
The fusion generators on their ships are more sophisticated. I take it.
No.
Okay.
So all of their craft, like I said, their spacecraft, they backward engineered from the Dual Alliance. The Dual Alliance, for some reason, has a great love of spheroid spacecraft. The Eynastyoi took that idea and instead kind of made them flattened ovoids. And this is a pretty typical research vessel, or what they call an investigation vessel. These 4 outlying spheroids can separate and are their own independent ships. If more than one separates, of course, that means the main craft has a problem landing. But aside from that, this is a typical belly lander, and there are multiple landing gear on the 4 or actually all 5 of the spheroids that allow it to, redistribute its weight. And each of the 4 pods on the outsides of it, or on the corners, they're only maneuver drives. But the main spheroid, they have, of course, their jump drive. It's only J1, but it holds enough fuel for 2 J1s. And this is pretty much how they have been exploring.
Well, maybe we point them in the right direction so they could get to tech level 9 fusion generators.
Okay. Yeah, that wouldn't be too big of a problem. They would, like I said, they're very thankful for anything that you want to help them to bring them up to a more not necessarily a current level, but more of a more in tune with their neighbors.
Yeah, so I think pointing them in the right direction on a little bit more advanced fusion reactors, because they've at tech level 8 they've got to have that's got to be the bare bones fusion.
Yeah, it's pretty down there.
Seems like that's as low as I've seen in fusion.
So Captain Lang fills you in that the Commonwealth, because of the Eynastyoi's relationship with the Dual Alliance, the Commonwealth has kind of taken not necessarily a hands-off approach with the Eynastyoi, but more of a wait and see, because the Commonwealth, they have a good relationship with the Dual Alliance. They don't fight in any wars or anything, but that's not to say that they 100% trust them either. And so he lets you know that that's one reason why the Commonwealth hasn't come in and said, "Oh, here, we'll give you a bunch of technology to bring you up to tech level 10." The Commonwealth doesn't trust that the Eynastyoi aren't going to give that over to the Dual Alliance.
Well, I mean, we're passing through. I mean, so it's, I don't really care about their
right. Yeah.
but at the same time, I don't want to completely rock the boats.
Yeah, I mean, you don't know what'll happen on your return trip.
crap load tech.
We don't have a prime directive. That is an important.
Right. There's no governmental prime directive. More like SG1. Your gods are lies. Have guns.
Yeah.
Bocephus, make a medic plus education check.
All right. Here we go. Come on now. And medic plus education, you said? Let's do it. Okay. How about a 14?
So, during your so you're kind of negotiating with them, not negotiating. You're offering them wafer tech, wafer jack technology, possible neural link. You've touched on the possibility of neural jack. With the idea that if this knowledge is stored on a wafer and they can slot it, they could potentially, save themselves a lot of trouble. This guy died, but here's his science skills at rank 3. Just plug it in and go. And some of that, I mean, way back, we haven't touched on this in a while. Way back, you were studying the memory engram. There was a ability to basically store an entire person's personality on a wafer. The downside is in the classified documents that you found is that the process of doing that killed the individual.
Yeah.
And this was technology that went back to like the first Imperium.
Mm-hmm.
And so
I can suggest drugs that may increase the chance of having twins.
Well, it's interesting
and therefore that would yeah.
So
that would increase their litters
in
or whatever.
their litters. Did Droyne have litters?
I don't know how many nipples they have. I don't know if they do eggs. I mean,
I think they're probably egg layers.
I know.
Yeah, I would imagine they're probably egg layers.
Yeah. Speaking of eggs,
enormous crash.
Not long ago, the Queen of England died.
Yes.
And have we heard how they're gonna make it when they don't have anybody to lay their eggs anymore?
Yeah. English people are hatched, aren't they? I mean, cannot confirm nor deny.
Right. Oh yeah. I'm gonna get trolled in the comments, but it's okay. I'm just joking. Sorry. Long live your king. Cool.
So
do your thing.
One of the things that you discover, part of this, of course, is you are kind of using one of the Eynastyoi of the delegation that took you to the plinth. You go over them with your medical scanner, and you find something interesting in that process. So you were going over it to basically show them
how to
part of the diagram of wiring it into their nervous system and all of that, right?
Hell yeah. Once you go tech, you never go back.
Something comes up in your diagnostic that essentially tells you that the Eynastyoi are, your deduction from the information that comes up is that they are essentially immune to the effects of any anagathic drug.
Oh yeah. See, I didn't even thought about going down that route, and I very well should have. But I could thoroughly understand that. Am I seeing any kind of signs on any way to maybe if they're immune to anagogic, then they're not. I mean, they're going to be highly resistant to any kind of anything I do from any direction.
Is there a way to
their lifespan? It's got to be. It's got to be with the caste system. They've evolved and they've just taken a wrong turn on the fucking tree of evolution. And
that's probably the best description I've heard so far. They went off on the wrong branch.
I mean, is it cellular degradation? Are they allergic to oxygen? I mean, is there something that's causing?
It's directly tied to the Droyne, the whole Droyne biosystem being tied so closely to the casting.
It's like it's probably a part of that. And then, I mean, these are super droids. So, I mean, if you look at the philosophy of most animals that are fast and quick moving tend to have slower lifespan. And these are strong and faster in every way. And slow and steady type creatures tend to have an extended lifespan.
Right.
And so, I mean, there could be like a part of the genetic balancing act, on how things work. I'm philosophizing here, of course.
Yeah, I mean, it is your medical scan tells you that they would be immune to anagathic drugs. And that you surmise that, like you said, they took a wrong branch. It is, and there's much debate along the lines of the scientific community, but the theory is that Droyne have not changed in 300,000 years. They are, I mean, with the exception of the chirpers and the tic-tacs,
except for the examples we have.
Yeah, those two, the chirpers and the tic-tacs, which are almost identical in every way, are cases where the droid devolved. But this typical Droyne, the main strain of Droyne, haven't changed in over 300,000 years. They are essentially genetically pure to the same Droyne during the ancients, during the reign of the ancients.
The key is that I got that ping of we are on the same track of the guys that we've been waiting for, and information about the fungus has touched through here. And
so you didn't get any feedback about the Deepnight Entity at all. In fact, there's no knowledge that is recorded in that plinth that Osktyask and the Droyne, when they came through, did any kind of research as far as the Deepnight Entity. All they did, they showed up, said, "Hey, you guys are Droyne just like us," and the Eynastyoi said, "No, we're not," and so they taught them how to cast, and then they left. The obelisk itself was not carved by the Droyne expedition. This was carved by the Eynastyoi.
Does Chirpy share their genetic flaws in short life? He's from a different strand. I mean, he is somewhat of a he kind of shows a tendency of both. I want to offer Chirpy a chance to stay here and suggest that perhaps he begin breeding here. Maybe, between him joining this society, maybe it'll start a trickle down effect of making him live longer. If not, I mean, he's more than welcome to stay with us.
Make a science biology plus education check.
Okay. How about an 11?
So Chirpy is a clone of genetic material that you found on that crashed Droyne ship.
Yeah.
Your estimation is that Chirpy's genetic maker was probably from around the time right when the Eynastyoi and the Droyne kind of split off their genetic branches.
Okay. And so he's probably got their...
So he's got genetic traits of both.
Okay. Well, I mean, that would make me think that he could successfully breed with them, right?
More than likely, yes. But you don't know what... The thing is, you don't know what would happen if... Because you had brought up, wanting to look into casting processes. You don't know what would happen to Chirpy. He could be mutated.
Be right back.
Okay. He could be mutated terribly, and he might die if he goes through the casting process. You don't know.
I'll tell him that. Yeah. I'm going to give him. I'm going to let him make informed decisions. I have simply brought him into this world. I'm going to let him roam about as he sees fit, but I'm trying to give him an ample opportunity to experience his options. And, this is a place where he can, maybe fulfill part of himself if he wants to try to go through the casting process. If he doesn't, that's fine too. But this is probably a place where his presence and possible long lifespan could really do a lot to benefit people who are partly like you.
Well, you don't know if he's got a long lifespan.
No, but you might as well. You don't want to fucking you don't tell a 10-year-old he's going to die next week, man.
Right. Right.
You're like, you're gonna die next month. It's a long time away.
It's a long time away.
Yeah.
The other thing that you guys well, we'll wait for Sarda to come back. Give him just a moment.
Yeah. While Sarda stepped away, and we're all around here, and you say these people have a little of everything. I'm looking for ways to do fragrance, scented candles, incense, and things like that.
Okay.
It's my intention to, on Deep Night, start aromatherapies that would.
You're gonna get into essential oils.
Hey, I'm just trying to mix it. I'm trying to mix it up.
It's gonna be all kelp flavored.
Yes,
dried shrimp,
dried shrimp and kelp. Yes.
Yeah, and so I'm wanting to get like a few tons worth of scented candles and stuff. And then I want to take
they probably have that. Yes.
Yeah. All right. Cool. I want to get one of them and take the cap off of it and fart in it, and then put the cap right back on. And I'm gonna gift that to Sarda because I know he's gonna like open it up and smell it immediately, and that'll be my way of pranking him.
It seems fishy.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So the other thing, and both of you, kind of, Bocephus, probably this is mildly touched on, but Sarda, you would see this pretty much directly firsthand. You do have, I mean, not many. I mean, there's maybe 5 on the entire ship, but there are Droyne crew members of Revelation,
Mm-hmm.
and the Eynastyoi recognize that there is a kinship between them and the Droyne, but they do not refer to themselves or think of themselves as Droyne. They are Eynastyoi. They are not Droyne.
Yeah.
On the flip side of that, the Droyne, and Sarda sees this more frequently. The Droyne crew members that come down for shore leave are a little off-put. They recognize that the Eynastyoi are kin. They refer to them as Droyne, but all of them are kind of sketched out. They view them as something's not quite right with the Eynastyoi. Like they're fucking weird.
Hell yeah.
Well, that makes sense.
They're like jackoffs.
Well, they're a caste that doesn't exist on their own in their own culture,
right?
And so that's going to cause problems.
And it wouldn't necessarily. I mean, nothing violent. It's just they're just sketched out by them. They're weird. They're not. I mean, they're Droyne, but they're not. There's something weird about them.
And if you've done like Dungeon Crawler Carl, there's this character called Predatente. He's an awakened goat, and he'll be talking, and just in the middle of the conversation, he'll be like,
it just starts screaming.
yeah, and it's like he's really fucked up and an emotional roller coaster, but he's all in all a good guy, but God, he's fucked up. He eats everything, because he's a fucking goat.
we were playing Castles and Crusades this last Sunday, and we were getting into. My wife plays a dwarf, and we were getting into dwarf culture, and I brought up that in the city that for riding animals, the dwarves commonly will ride, mountain goats.
Oh yeah.
And she grew up in Hermiston with rodeos and ranches. Oh, you mean they're mutton busters? Yes. And I immediately got this image
exactly
of like a 5-year-old kid with a beard down to his belly button and a little hat with horns on it, mutton busting a goat. I was like, that is the most hilarious thing I ever thought of. That's absolutely ridiculous. Now I
with a Napoleon complex.
Yeah, with a Napoleon complex, right? Wanting to fight everything and drinking all the time.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's this. It's not just genetic separation. There is, and I guess you couldn't say it's societal. The Droyne and the Eynastyoi just, like, on a deep level, know that they are not the same.
Like spider monkeys and chimps, maybe. Is that like what you're saying?
Yeah, I guess.
Or like spider monkeys and some other kind of monkey?
Maybe. Yeah, they recognize that they are the same people, mostly biologically, but there's something they like a sixth sense that they both instinctually have that tells them that they're not the same, that they are not even the same race anymore.
Right. I feel that.
Or same species.
But Chirpy's closer to these guys than the other Droyne.
I would say that is probably true. Like I said, Chirpy, your best guesstimation would be that Chirpy came from a time that missing link, where it diverged from him or his people at about that time, because he has traits of both. And like I said, you don't know what'll happen to him if he casts.
Yeah, well, I'll give him all that information and he can make whatever choice he wants, but I don't want to treat him like property.
So, what are you guys doing for the rest of your 4 days here? I mean, other than relaxing amongst the locals.
Oh, I'm serious about getting the scents, the scented candles and things like that for aromatherapy.
They willingly get you multiple gift packs of essential oils.
Yeah, I'm thinking that'll mix up my all that. I'm trying to come up with multiple ways to combat space sickness, if you will. And so being able to close your eyes.
When you get back to Charted Space, you're going to be an expert.
Right. I'll have a lot of writings and shit. I'm definitely going to be up for the equivalent of their Nobel Peace Prize. And maybe they'll write some laws based on what I've done to make sure others don't repeat it.
That's
right. Yeah. It's not a war crime the first time.
That's right. It's never a war crime the first time you do it.
Yeah.
Give me 1 second.
In my city, Little Rock, when I was like really young, all our city parks and stuff, they were open all the time. You could just go there. It was totally cool. And the moment that we became teenagers and got to go to the park at night, we partied so hard, and rich political people's daughters got pregnant. Just things happened. And they wrote laws to make it so you could not hang out there at night anymore. We did that. We left our mark upon Little Rock, and it will forever be remembered. We ought to have statues or something.
You damn teenagers.
Yeah. Well, there you go. There's not a lot of people that say they can have laws written about them. Just saying.
So, aside from getting essential oils and candles and bath bombs, anything else?
That's all I can really think of on here. I mean,
I'm sure Sarda's getting whatever television programs that they are watching.
Yeah. It's all about entertainment, whether it's movies, music, documentaries,
all 35 seasons of Days of These Droyne.
Yeah.
Did Chirpy decide if he wants to stay or go with us?
So he gives it some thought, and he has a lot of apprehension about staying. You guys are the only people he's ever known.
That's understandable. But he's if you take somebody and you force them to go along on your ride, the chances of them turning against you is greater.
Well, he doesn't feel like you're forcing him. In fact, he thinks of, and this is a terrifying thought. He thinks of Dr. Bocephus as like a father figure.
Well, he is welcome to come with me and be my buddy. I like him. I understand that there's nobody like him, and this might be as close as we get.
And so
to you being a motion piece.
Even with like I said, there's like 5 other Droyne that spend a lot of time together on Revelation, and he doesn't feel a kinship with them either. He feels closer to you guys. Now, that could be because he's pretty much grown up, in the laboratory, because he's a clone. And the only people that he spent time around is you and your medical staff. But he seems to have a closer relationship with you and the medical staff, dare I say mostly humans, you being the outlier, being a Chikari, than he does with the Droyne. And he thinks of the Eynastyoi, they are, as far as he's concerned, they're completely alien to him.
Well, then stay with us. Seems like that's more comfortable for him, and that's fine.
Okay.
I don't want to feel like I'm kicking him off the ship.
Yeah, he's welcome to make whatever decision he'd like, whatever makes him happiest.
If he would like to try to, hit it and quit it before we go, I could probably,
doesn't really have a whole lot of interest. Like I said, he thinks of the Eynastyoi as being. He recognizes that they look very similar to him when he looks in the mirror, but he feels that they're alien somehow.
Yeah, I understand. Well, there you go. All right.
So you spend your 4 days and 4 days of leave on the planet, and your next stop would be Osktyask 2 if you're going to check out that other the walled off chirper preserve. See, the other thing that the Eynastyoi tell you is they don't know how the chirpers got there. They do tell you that they have there is some evidence that they weren't always chirpers, that there were cities on the world before, but they devolved. They don't know if that was because of Osktyask in his expedition or what. That's one of the reasons why their research ship went over there 6 years ago.
Yeah, and it never returned.
And it has not returned.
Yeah. Do you want to go check out the research? Isn't that on the way?
It is.
Then we might as well do it.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. All right. So you guys say your goodbyes to the Eynastyoi. You load back up into Revelation with your shuttles all docking, and the ship jumps. Your weekend jump space. I mean, this other site is only about 3 parsecs away, so it's not like it's going to take all of your jump reserves. What are you doing in the weekend jump? Are you studying?
I'm diplomating.
Okay, you can.
And I'm going back to my vac suit training.
Okay, you can add a week of study.
I'll do 5 weeks.
I am at 8 weeks for my first period in diplomat. I do have the skill. I'm at diplomat 1, so I understand I need to get another period after this. But this is my 8 weeks.
Okay.
Do you want me to make a diplomat check of some sort?
Go ahead and make a diplomat plus education check.
That's 13.
Okay, there you go. You succeed.
Thank you very much.
So
that's one period, and then I'm back down to 0 weeks.
Yeah, how many periods do you have to do?
I think I have to do 2. I have diplomat 1. So
yeah, you'd have to do two 8-week periods to go to diplomat 2.
Yeah. So I still have 8 more weeks to go to diplomat 2, but thank you.
So this is you come out of jump pretty much along with of course the CSS Illustrious. You come out of jump into the Osktyask system, or at least that's what the Eynastyoi called it. There's not a whole lot here. So this is technically a binary system, but only just. So there is the primary is down here, orbiting. This orbits this primary. The primary star is an M25. But the companion is actually a brown dwarf. And there are no other worlds around the primary. But around the brown dwarf is a large gas giant, Osktyask 1, and then a fairly nice world, Osktyask 2. Of course, you guys do your usual scans coming in. And the scans come back, not only is this a fairly barren system, which any star that's got a brown dwarf as a companion is more often than not going to be fairly sparse. It looks to you like Osktyask 1 may have been a captured rogue body that then just settled into an orbit around the brown dwarf. Osktyask 2, however, does appear to be normal. It was probably formed here, and it formed in just the right way. Your initial pinnaces go out and do their scans, and this is the world. This is the world data that comes back. Obviously, there is no starport. It is reading as about 9,600 kilometers in diameter, surface gravity of about 0.7. Atmosphere is thin. Pressure is 0.43 to 0.7, but there's no need for a filter or suit of any kind. It's shirt sleeves environment. About 46 to 55% water and has a large ocean. Well, this is a pretty okay planet. Aside from that, there's no evidence of a real population. Now, that's not 100% true. They do detect that there are perhaps Aboriginal type tribes living in the dense undergrowth of the jungle forests. But they're few in number. Not enough that they would calculate that as a population. They're very few. Obviously has no government and it has no law level. And because of all that, there's no tech level. But aside from that, I mean, this is a pretty nice planet. If you had to be stranded on a planet, this is an okay place. Give me 1 second.
I remember there was a ship that went missing here, so...
Yeah.
The probes going over the world do detect that there are numerous ruins of what appear to have been cities. Most of these are completely covered over. I mean, they're getting much of this from LiDAR going over these jungles. And it's picking up that there are cities that are buried in these jungles, and they so Jack says he's going to be extremely late. So the lidar is showing that that there are these jungles that are overgrown or have been overgrown by the jungle, but there is one large city that they are detecting that there is a metallic mass and a very small radiation, like energy signature, coming from it.
We need to approach it extreme caution and probably be in the best type of protective suit, hazmat suits, vac suits, whatever. Probably vac suits.
So you want to wear you want to go down in the hazardous environment suits? I mean, it's a shirt sleeves environment.
That's correct. But
regular vac suits probably fine. But I mean, this is probably a down ship, right? So.
Look, I'm just saying we can change clothes and whatever we transport in, but at the very initial walk in and look, we ought to be as prepared as possible, especially when we know that supposedly there was a ship that came over here and something might have brought it down. Something could have fucked all the people up. I'm just. It's much easier to be safe on the front end and loosen up after we've put our boots on the ground. That's really all I'm saying here. I'm not saying we have to do it the whole time, but I mean,
okay. So
that's just, I'm not telling other people what to do, but I am going to go in a back suit the first time.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not unreasonable. All right.
So you guys are suiting up. Pappy launches the scout ship, and you guys are kind of suiting up as he does kind of a flyover. And there we go. This is kind of the flyover area.
Wow.
And this right here at this point, where this river kind of separates, is where this ship has landed. Now, you guys can make an electronic sensors check, and one of you can do electronic sensors plus intellect. Another one can do a recon plus intellect. Okay.
Sensors is a 13.
Let's see if you want to make a recon plus intellect.
Yeah, sure will. It just takes me a second to scroll recon intellect.
Oosh.
Yeah. How about that?
So you don't really.
I'm sitting there talking about incense and candles. I'm probably putting some fresh lotion on myself before I get into the
rubbing salt water into your skin.
Yeah.
So you don't vomit ambergris, do you?
No.
It smells like porpoise hork.
Yeah.
So, Serta, you look at the scanner or look at your sensors, and you notice two things. The first is that indeed this is one of these investigation ships. One of these. Eynastyoi-class investigation vessel, 4,000 tons. And the first thing that your sensors tell you is that it is alive. It is a active ship, but the sensors immediately come back. EM signatures are reading that the ship is in a standby mode. Like the power plant is online, but everything is in low power state, like it's idling. The second thing that you notice on your sensors, and this is very strange, is that it is parked dead center in the middle of the city. Like, it crushed buildings.
Yeah. So it recently landed.
No, it looks like it's been there for a while.
All right.
But the part that's weird about this is, I mean, so this was a science crew coming to a planet that is the Eynastyoi view this world as a wildlife preserve to be studied, and yet their ship landed right in the middle of the ruins. There's no way to land in the middle of a city without doing some destruction on a 4,000-ton ship.
Let's go check that ship out.
Pappy points out, he says that if you would like, he can attempt to land in the city, but a 4,000-ton ship is going to have an easier time, even if it's crushing buildings. One of its landing struts can go through a basement, and it can kind of sturdy itself on the rest of its landing gear. In a ship your size, if it lands and that happens, it'll likely get stuck in the basement. So his recommendation is landing just outside the city.
Fair enough.
Sounds good to me.
So
you listen to the experts if you're wise.
It's a little big. You gotta land you somewhere over here. And he sets you down, and you can disembark. So you already said, Bocephus wants to go with HEV. What other gear are you packing with you, Bocephus?
Oh, my med kit and a gauze sniper rifle with heap rounds.
Okay. Hit a chirper with a heap round. Man, they're going to leave nothing but a lingering red mist.
That's right.
They ain't that big.
Also, yeah. But if you fuck around and make a Tyrannosaurus Rex jump out of the woods or something, I'm going to nail that motherfucker with something that hurts.
Right.
For medical purposes.
For medical purposes, right. Fastest way to get DNA is if you blow it up. What about...
I'll also have a basic science kit with me, too.
Okay.
So
I would say that probably includes a bioscanner, because I would everybody should have a bioscanner.
Sure.
I put that right up there with Sarda's idea that everybody should have a stunner. I think everybody, if you're getting off in an alien world, you should have a bioscanner. What about Sarda? How are you gearing up?
Yeah, I'm going with pretty typical vac suit, stunner, and Gauss pistol, and then I'll have my med kit and med kit, and that's about it.
Do you want a magazine of heap rounds for your pistol?
It's okay. I'm good.
Okay.
So
I guess I'll bring an electronics toolkit just in case.
Okay, that's not a bad idea, actually. Okay. So, you guys get out and kind of, it's probably about a good kilometer outside the city. And as you are coming down, you do detect on sensors that there are your sensors detect that there is some movement in the bushes. You do detect that there are a lot of small animals, birds and small ground animals. Maybe would-be rabbits, if this world has rabbits, I don't know. And even some larger herbivore type creatures that scatter as soon as your ship makes its landing. But you do notice that there are some larger creatures, like maybe some of the native chirper population, the indigenous people have taken note. But both of you can make a recon plus intellect check.
7. Getting better.
So both of you, initially on coming in, you see this on your sensors. You point at the sensors. Thermograph shows that there are, upright Droyne-like humanoids in the trees. And as you land, you come within maybe 500 kilometers of the edge of the forest, and you forget all about it. Like, you just completely, you notice the birds, you notice the herbivores, you notice the small ground animals, completely just forget about the fact that you saw chirpers in the tree lines. And it's not even really a conscious thought, but I mean the only way that to describe it is by telling you that you forget about it. Like, you just casually, it's not a concern in your mind anymore.
Well, then that's what I'll have to do, and I can't make any changes for what we're doing. It's that simple.
Our purpose for coming here was specifically what?
To find this wreck and to look for possible Droyne monuments that we could telepathically get.
Well, we can pursue that. We can continue to pursue that mission.
Yeah. I'm going to scan for narrative hooks.
Scan, yes. Bocephus, you can make a... Well, you can both make an electronic sensors plus intellect check.
I got a 9.
Okay.
$15.
Woo. So, Bocephus, you kind of step off and you kind of pull out your bioscanner. You do your, standard kind of scan the area right around where your landing site is, and do kind of a preliminary investigation of flora, and you both detect this. Your bioscanner comes back that there is a low risk, because it is so sparsely laid out, some kind of viral contaminant. But Sarda, you get a slightly better scan on it, and the bioscanner comes back that this low-level viral contaminant in this city looks like it doesn't look natural. It looks like it was engineered.
Okay.
It cannot be, absolutely decisive, but the structure of the virus looks like it was engineered and has basically mutated itself nearly out of existence over, however many thousands of years.
All right, well, let's collect samples, I guess.
Okay. So you guys collect some samples, and kind of move into the ruins of the city. The initial...
I want to initiate, after we get our samples, that we use our ultraviolet light, UVC light.
Okay.
Just to keep that. I mean, it has antiviral properties.
Absolutely.
For inactivating viruses and bacteria.
Yep.
So if we just have that headlamp stuff on and all that, it ought to hopefully give us an increased chance of not.
I can just see you with this black light blaring out of your headlamp every time you turn to look at Sarda. He's like, "Get that out of my face!"
Yeah.
His face kind of glows for a second.
He's got it set. He's got it set to strobe. He thinks that. Has better effectiveness.
Yeah, you want to surprise the virus, so strobe lights
yes,
on.
strobe lights. Yes.
Yeah.
My old.
And then I would tell my monkey to keep the beat on a little bongo drum or something, and we could just dance.
The band that I used to play in, we had a party, and one of the girls that came over, one of her friends, we had a strobe light in the living room, and her friend comes up, she's like, "Oh, well, she has a risk of a seizure. You know, we turn off the strobe light," and our lead singer looks at her and goes, "Don't worry, she starts freaking out. We'll just change the frequency on the light. It's okay." So,
but no, I mean, that's what a high-end doctor scientist guy would know and be saying. So that's what I'm doing.
Yeah. So you've got your UV lamps turned on, and you kind of make your way into the edge of this city. The initial just looking at it. So I mean, this city's been abandoned for a long time. Like, yeah, probably 1,000 years. There are well, maybe not that long. At least a couple hundred years. There are some walls that are as tall as upwards of 3 meters tall. But everything's ruined. You see that there are trees that are growing up through some of the buildings. Anywhere that looks like it was at one time maybe a green area, like a park or whatever, has just been completely overrun by the jungle. So, I mean, the initial thought that you have, because the other ruins are almost completely overtaken by forest growth. This city may actually have been the last holdout on Osktyask 2. Where would you guys like to go? You can move.
I'm most interested in the spaceship.
Yeah, you can move. 18 meters. Yeah. So
is that the spaceship? That round part up ahead? Is that? What
no, it is. They're like all the way up here. It's just slightly off the map. You can get up.
Bro, to ship. It says we'll head that way.
Okay. You can
walking through these trees.
Yes, you can walk through the trees.
All right, I'm just gonna follow him.
Figure I'm gonna walk up to this little road up here and take the road to the ship.
So yeah, you can.
Sounds like a good idea, man.
12 hexes. Yeah, I screwed up. I left the hexes on this map, and I didn't need to do that. But anyways, both of you make a Recon plus Intellect check.
$12.
Okay. Over here, well, actually kind of right there, you see the fleeting image of a Droyne appears to be wearing shredded rags for clothes, and it takes off running into these bushes. Sarda didn't see her, or it.
Right.
But Sarda, you can make... Look at this. This is one of the few times that I'm ever going to have you make this check, because usually this works automatically. You can make a telepathy plus psi check. You're not going to expend any psi points for this. Just go ahead and make a telepathy plus psi check for your telepathic shield.
Sure.
Okay, perfect. Right over here, you see a Droyne looking at you.
Right over where? I'm sorry.
Sorry, I'm just changing his layer. Right there.
Okay.
You see a Droyne looking at you, and he has in his hand like what appears to be like a bone knife, and he's got like on a leather thong around his neck what looks like teeth, and he's in the bushes, but he doesn't seem to be making any real attempt to be hidden. You immediately notice that Bocephus has not noticed him at all.
So there's a little Droyne in the bushes over there.
Bocephus, you can make a recon plus intellect check.
Okay. The 12 didn't count. There's another one.
No, you need to make another one.
Okay. 8.
You look where Sarda is pointing, and you not only do you not see anything standing there, but you are finding it difficult to even pay attention to what he's telling you. Make a telepathy plus psi check.
Oh.
We might want to create a psi link.
Yeah, 11.
Okay, you kind of focus and concentrate for a minute, and you can see, you can suddenly, you're like really trying to, you have to force yourself to look where he's pointing, and then you kind of see, kind of coming into focus suddenly, that there's a Droyne there looking at you.
I think they're able to fool our brain into not seeing them. We might want to form a psi link to communicate more effectively
between both of us.
Yeah,
I mean, we can do that.
I don't remember if that takes a roll or.
It's a small amount of
mind link. Easy. It does with psi cost.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll spend it.
I will too. So, all right, my size back down to 12, and
drops
there
to
we go.
9.
And if you need the check,
yeah, I can't miss, but I'll roll it.
I can't either. Yeah, there you go.
So we create a psi link so that we can communicate more effectively, since things are jumbling our heads, it seems like.
Yeah.
The other thing that you both notice out of the corner of your eye, attached to the corner of the ruins of this building, you see that there is a sensor post that has been bolted into the stone of this rock. There's no wires coming out of it, so the immediate assumption is that it is on some kind of wireless network.
I'll pull out my electronics toolkit and see if I can't find how it's communicating.
Okay, go ahead and make make a electronic sensors check. It's routine.
Sure. Sensors. Cancel. Well. So a 12.
Okay, so you not only figure out that it is on a wireless network, but you are able to kind of hack into it, and you find that there are a number of these sensors all throughout the ruins here. They are on a wireless network, and you can access all of them. You can also access basically their history databases of raw sensor data that they've been pulling in. Looking at this, the initial look at it shows that there are what appear to be super Droyne that are basically using dart guns to capture some of the the indigenous chirper population, and dragging them off and taking them to this large round circular structure set of ruins. And you don't, I mean, it's very weird, and it appears to be quite traumatizing for the chirpers.
Okay. Am I able to see the pseudo droid that's over here?
Yes.
Through the sensors? Okay.
Yes. When you look on the sensors, you can see them just fine.
Yeah. So that they are exerting some type of mental for effort to make you not notice them. Okay.
This Droyne kind of is he gets the feeling like he's been seen, and he immediately starts to. He's going to move that way. He's moving towards the initial Droyne that you saw in the bushes over here that took off running.
All right. Well, I want to download the raw data.
Okay.
If I can. I don't know how long that'll take, but I want to start downloading that. If that's an opportunity.
About 6 minutes. Your computer's way faster than the network that this is plugged into.
Yep.
Both of you can make another recon plus intellect check. Okay.
6. Yeah.
Yeah, we need people that are better at recon.
Two of these Droyne come out of their hiding. They have bone knives, and they are going to make an attack on each of you, and then we will roll initiative.
Okay.
Let's see here. This is wow. Okay. Oh, you're probably not going to do a whole lot at extra HEVs. He misses.
I'm wearing regular vac suit, so
yeah, both of them go to stab, and neither one gets through your suits. God, why am I having such a problem? Oh, come on. I can't get my mouse. There we go. Like, what the fuck? Really? And I'm throwing Pappy and Mel in here too because
this might carry over.
Yes, it probably will. Let's see. They have a +0. Boy. So go ahead and roll your initiative. Well, I guess I didn't roll that bad. All right, so Bocephus, this guy goes to stab you and kind of chips his bone blade on your HEV armor. What are you doing?
I am going to try to inject him with neon venom, the knock-knock drug.
Wow. That's going to be a grapple check. Go ahead and you can make a melee unarmed plus strength or dex, and he will do the same.
All right.
Good luck, man.
You got a BD7.
You got this.
Ooh,
I got a 7.
So they're having a slap fight. Stop it! And nobody is grappled. The pseudo Droyne. So you guys recognize these guys. You recognize them as Droyne, but they don't. They don't look like Droyne that you've seen before. They're something else. They look like maybe they started chirpers. Their wings are kind of stunted and weird, but they're like half formed from chirper to droin. They're very odd looking. He is going to. Yeah, he's gonna swing with his knife again because he's got an intelligence of 1. So yeah, his bone knife chips off of your suit. The other one's gonna swing again on Sarda. Ooh, an 8 hits. A pleasant difference. Ooh, 7 points of damage, which isn't going to get through your vaccine.
Yeah.
But I mean, he strikes hard, and it does not cause any kind of structural damage or leak to your suit, but it does get through an outer layer. What are you doing, Sarda?
I guess I'm gonna draw my stunner and I'll fire at it. So that gives me a -1 because I'm in combat, right?
You could. I would say you could draw your stunner with your minor action.
Right. Yeah. No, I knew that. I'm drawing as a minor action, then I'm firing. But I believe that if you fire when you're engaged in melee, is that a penalty?
Oh, that's right. Yes. So it would be a -1.
And then +1 for range, so it washes. Yeah. So just a flat attack. I just missed.
Yeah. Your little lightning bolt shoots off from the stunner and strikes the ground behind the proto-droid. Pappy and Mel are not present. Bocephus, what are you doing?
I'm still gonna try to do. I'm trying to stick him with this. I'm trying to poke him with this needle and inject this shit at him real quick.
Go ahead and make another melee unarmed plus strength or dex. Ooh, you're gonna have to beat a 10. So he grapples you.
Yeah.
Which means he wins, so he gets to do something.
Yeah.
Melee attack, grappling.
Just gonna give you a wedgie.
It is not 6+. He kicks you in the nads.
Nice.
For 4 points of endurance damage.
It goes through armor and all that?
Yep, it ignores the effects of armor.
Gasoline does that, yeah. It makes it dangerous.
Well, I'm trying to be non-lethal, but, I mean, if they're going to push my luck, then I'm going to start killing these fuckers.
The pseudo-droid, he is then going to swing with his knife again. And hits. Let's see.
I mean, he and I are still locked in grapple stuff. Don't we do another check?
No, because that ends the grapple.
Okay.
He hits, but it doesn't get through your HEV suit. The other one is going to do the same to Sarda. Oof.
Yep.
Oof. Wow. Okay. That's going to be
fuck these guys.
Auto. Let's see here. He can't crit, but that is
+4 damage.
Yeah. And he rolls a 1. So it doesn't get through your suit. You are starting to have some concerns though about this. You know, that one actually did cause a small puncture in your suit. Sarda, what are you doing?
Fortunately, it's self-sealing.
Yes.
I'm gonna basically do the same thing, but this time around, I will. Yeah, no, it's just I'm gonna fire.
There. Ooh.
Damn it! I knew I should have aimed. All right.
You can say that you aimed. I mean, that's a plus. That's only a +1.
I wouldn't because it's got the problem is I've been using a smart tracker. So the moment you hit the creature, you then spend an action to give yourself a +2 the next turn. So
I see.
I'm not. He wouldn't aim.
Okay, so you shoot it off again. I think that this is probably a good spot to break. And we will pick this up. I will be gone next week. We'll pick it up the week after that. And
sounds good.
Hopefully, we'll all be back together.
Yeah.
All right. I will see you guys in 2 weeks.
Take care. All.
Have a good night.
Bye.
Yeah, I hope wishing you well, whatever your medical issues are.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it shouldn't be that big of a deal. So, yeah,
all right.
I'm keeping my fingers crossed.
All right.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.
Yep,
Bye.
see you tomorrow.